Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly intuitive reading for Monday, January 4th through Sunday, January 10th, 2021. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Psychic Tarot by John Holland for the main message for everyone. We also have a special message card back here for the collective because this is our first full week in the new year of 2021. So this general message for everyone comes from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. And then your special message card, depending on your stone of choice this week, will be coming from a brand new deck that I just purchased over the holidays called the Psychic Reading Cards by Debbie Malone and Amelia Chitulescu. I hope I said her name right. Chitulescu. Okay. So let's start by taking a look at these special stones of choice. Okay, so these are all special intention pendants that I've recently wrapped, and if they're not already, they're going up on my website here as some of my special intention products on my website. And this one is called K2. Now that's an unusual name for a crystal or a stone. Now I don't have these infused yet with the special intentions, which often is energies of a sign of the zodiac, for instance, or a planetary energy, or a chakra energy, or a numerology vibration, but I can give you the information, the metaphysical vibration, if you will, or description of the stones itself, and that will give you an idea of what the special intentions will be. So the K2 stone allows one to reach the highest peaks of consciousness and at the same time helps to ground the energy into third dimensional reality. And this is because of what the K2 stone is made up of. You can see the blue splotches of energy here, which is going to relate to that third chakra, if you will, that third eye chakra, which is, again, assisting one in reaching those highest peaks of consciousness. And then the other part of the K2 stone, oops, I almost dropped it, is a material that is very grounding. It's that white kind of, I think it's feldspar, if I'm not mistaken, stone. And that is going to, again, help to bring things from that higher consciousness energy and ground it into third dimensional energy. Okay, the second stone of choice, I've come upon this particular stone recently, and I purchased a lot of beautiful ones. I actually have a couple of great big ones that I've had for a long time, but these are smaller ones that I'm wrapping into the special intention pendants. And this is called a golden healer quartz. Isn't this one beautiful? Because it's shaped like a teardrop. It's got a nice flat back to it, so it's a perfect wrapping stone. The golden healer quartz is a high vibrational crystal, and it's known as a master healer stone. It helps to raise your vibrations, it amplifies your intentions, and it helps to release any blockages in your life. Now, they call it a golden healer quartz because it's quartz crystal, but it has golden flecks within it, and this one is wrapped with golden wire, so it might be hard to see actually the gold flecks in there. Some of them have more gold in them than others. Some of them are more of this whitish quartz with the gold in it. So just a very beautiful high vibrational stone there. And the last special intention pendant of choice is this blue apatite. Now I had one recently on my website, but that one sold. So this is a new one, and it's just such a rich blue color. I just love this particular stone. This is a deeply spiritual stone with a high vibration to help you connect with past lives and your psychic abilities. And just as you might guess, it resonates or opens the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the ear chakras. So throat chakra for speaking your truth, third eye chakra for higher vision, clairvoyance, ear chakras for clairaudience. This also helps to increase one's motivation and creative self-expression. So again, your stones of choice are the K2, the golden healer, or the blue apatite. So let's talk a little bit about the astrological energy of this first full week of January 2021. Now, of course, last week's reading was the last few days of December 2020 and into the first few days of 2021, but we start out this week on January 4th with Mercury, the planet that rules the mind, our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, and our communications. And Mercury is in Capricorn right now, which is a sign that rules authority, career, goals, ambitions, practicality, focusing your efforts, towards your goals. So it's a very grounded, practical place here for Mercury to be. And on Monday, Mercury is connecting with Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth and transformation and regeneration and deep subconscious energies. So with Mercury connecting with Pluto, we're going to feel empowered in our thoughts, empowered in our ideas, and empowered in our communications within ourselves as well as with other people. Again, there's a lot of practical, goal-oriented intentions here with the Capricorn energy. Now on Wednesday the 6th, Mars, we have a lot of planets switching into different signs this week. The first one is Mars on Wednesday the 6th, shifting out of Aries, which was his home sign, and into the sign of Taurus. Now, if you remember, Mars has been in Aries for quite a long time because last year in 2020, he entered Aries, his home sign, and here we have a fire planet. Mars is this action-oriented, energy, forward movement kind of planet. And it was in his home fire sign of Aries. Then it went retrograde for a few weeks, and then it turned direct, and it's been in Aries for quite some time. Now it's moving into Taurus, and one thing that Taurus is first of all, it's an earth sign, so it's a little bit more stable and secure, but it's also slower paced. Aries is like a ball of fire, very passionate and wants to move forward fast. And so while Mars was in Aries, it wanted to move forward fast, but it was retrograde for a time, and then when it shifted back to direct motion, it was slow moving for a time. That on top of all the other planetary energies we had, just kind of had Mars and Aries kind of wanting to kind of move forward, but feeling a little frustrated maybe that things weren't happening quite as quickly as you might have wanted them to. Now, in other circumstances, maybe there was some quick movement there at times for you, but now that Mars is moving into Taurus on the 6th of January and stays in this Earth sign until March, I think it's 3rd is what I wrote down here, until March 3rd. So almost a couple of months before it moves into Gemini, which he'll pick up speed again and be a little all over the board when it's in Gemini. But while it's in Taurus, movement forward is steady and slow, determined and persistent. And there's just a natural kind of more slow-moving unfolding in the energies during this time. Things are more grounded. Again, things feel a little bit more stable, although again, for some people, it might feel like it slows down a little bit here. There's more of a practical expression with Mars and Taurus because, again, Taurus is an earth sign. It's more practical and grounded and focused on money matters and financial matters. And so, with Mars and Taurus, we might find matters involving our personal resources, including money and finances, that are just kind of steadily moving along, slowly unfolding. We have to be persistent and determined. We have to have patience when it comes to Taurus energy. On Friday, the 8th of January, we have 2 more planets changing into different signs. First, Mercury, that planet that we talked about on Monday, being in Capricorn, connecting Pluto. Now Mercury is moving out of Capricorn on the 8th and moving into Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. Mercury is kind of a planet that rules the mind, which is related to the element of air. So Mercury in Aquarius is going to feel a little bit more at home here. He's going to be in Aquarius until March 15th, which is an extra long time for Mercury to spend in a sign. Mercury is usually plowing through a sign in about 3 or so weeks, give or take. Now it's going to be in the sign of Aquarius for just over 2 months, and that's because he's going to go through a retrograde motion coming up here at the end of the month on January 30th. He goes into his retrograde motion until February 20th and then turns back direct on February 20th in Aquarius, and it will be until March 15th before he actually leaves this sign. So what is Aquarius all about? It's about humanitarian endeavors. It's about group activity, networking, coming together with people of like mind, troubleshooting, coming up with new ideas of how to assist humanity and the planet, the collective. It's about scientific breakthroughs, inventions. It's about unusual ideas that one might have. It's about unusual activity. The mind is very attuned to higher psychic abilities like claircognizance, where there's just an open crown chakra and channeling information that comes through. Now, Aquarius can be a little stubborn. It is a fixed sign, so our ideas and our potentials can be a little bit fixed or stubborn when it comes to certain things or certain areas or things that we want to see happen or what we believe. You know, Mercury in Aquarius can be very much like, I know what the deal is, and this is the way it is, and this is what I think. And so it's very it's a little matter of fact, but yet it has the collective, the betterment of humanity in mind when it comes, to this Aquarian energy. Also on Friday the 8th, after Mercury shifts into Aquarius, Venus is going to shift out of Sagittarius and into Capricorn. So Venus is the planet that rules love, relationships, partnerships of all kinds, and she rules money and personal resources and our values and how we value ourselves. And she's been in Sagittarius for a few weeks, which is very freedom-oriented, inspirational, motivating, and creative and fiery and independent. Now she's moving into Capricorn. So we still have also, by the way, the sun is still in Capricorn, even though it's not necessarily highlighted this week. But the sun is in Capricorn. We start out this week with Mercury in Capricorn, although it shifts into Aquarius on the 8th. Venus is now shifting into Capricorn. So it's, again, that practical, goal-oriented, ambitious, focusing on career path, life path, destiny path, owning your own sense of authority and what do I want to get done? What do I want to accomplish? How can I get there? What are the steps that need to be taken kind of energy? And Venus is going to be in Capricorn until February 1st. So just under a month that she's going to be there. And then also later on Friday, Mercury, which has just moved into Aquarius, is challenging Mars, which, remember, on Wednesday just moved into Taurus. Now, where Mars is in Taurus, Taurus is a fixed sign, a stubborn sign. Where Mercury is in Aquarius, Aquarius is a fixed sign, a stubborn sign. So the planet that rules the mind here, Mercury, challenging Mars, the warrior, the planet of energy and action. There might be some mental frustration here going on. There might be communications that are a little assertive or a little bit testy. And again, our own thoughts and perceptions within ourselves might be a little bit frustrated, is the best word I can come up with during that time. On Saturday the 9th, Venus in Capricorn is now in a positive aspect to Mars in Taurus. This is, as far as the connections go, this is probably the easiest connection all week, is Venus, which is the feminine, right? And Taurus, which is the masculine. These are the lovers, Venus and Taurus. They come together in a nice positive trine connection, a trine energy. They're in earth signs though, so they're more practical, more serious, more grounded as far as their connection. It's not like that fiery, passionate, Mars and Venus lovers connection that we often think of. This is more about work. This is more about steadiness. This is more about security. And it could indeed be something about monetary security, because Venus does rule personal resources, money, finances. Taurus, where Mars is, also is the sign that rules personal resources, money, finances. So we might find that there's something unfolding here, and it seems to be in a positive manner in regards to, either relationship matters or our personal resources within our connections with others. This could be business partnership as well. There's goals that we're working maybe together with people in our lives to kind of accomplish. That is a positive indication with this particular connection. And if it is some sort of romantic relationship energy, then it's just, again, a very slightly cautious but yet practical, grounded, committed sort of energy. Then later on Saturday the 9th, we have Mercury in Aquarius, and it's connecting with Saturn that just went into Aquarius the latter part of December 2020. Remember when we had Jupiter moving into Aquarius and then Saturn moving into Aquarius and then the conjunction of Jupiter and Aquarius on December 21st? Well, Saturn's pretty slow moving, so it's not very far into Aquarius here. And Mercury has already caught up and is connecting to Saturn on Saturday. And Saturn can be quite somber. Saturn can be about responsibility, and Saturn is about karmic lessons, and sometimes it's about restrictions and limitations, but it's also about form and manifestation. With Mercury coming together with Saturn, there could be a couple different things happening. One is that perhaps we're feeling a little bit constricted or restricted with our thoughts, our ideas and perceptions, or maybe there's challenges in communications, or there's lessons surrounding our communications with other people. But on the positive end, this can bring our ideas into form. So the Mercury in Aquarius, the ideas we come up with, the brainstorming, the creative kind of thoughts, the opening up that crown chakra to channel something, Saturn can kind of take it and bring it down into third dimensional reality. So it kind of depends on what's going on in your own personal astrological chart and how you want to use that energy. So let's take a look at the messages from our angels and guides, and you can see that a bunch of cards were coming out here. The first card, there's 2, the second card, there's 2, and then of course the last card, there is 1, but a lot of messages here to get through, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Okay, wow, this is a pretty heavy card to start out with this week. This is Major Arcana 15. In this deck, it's called Temptation. In the traditional tarot, this is the Devil card. This isn't to be scary or to put a fear into anybody. In fact, that's what this card represents in the traditional tarot, is our fears. The Devil card is about our own fears, our own doubts, our own anxieties that are all a part of the ego mind or the ego projection, which aren't necessarily truth, not necessarily our reality, right? And so with this card, and we're going to see in a minute what came out with it, but with this card, it seems like in part, we may be starting out 2021, and I feel like a lot of us, we were all looking forward to 2021, a shifting into new energy, and it is in fact a lighter vibration than 2020, just from a numerological standpoint, which if you want to hear more about that, please make sure you go to my YouTube channel and watch the monthly intuitive reading for January 2021, because it's going to go more in depth for the whole month as far as that energy. But as we were, looking forward to this lighter energy, this new energy of 2021, I think these first few days, perhaps we're now in this mode of thinking to, wow, I don't know if things are really changing or not. We've got the COVID that's still, out there, and the restrictions from that we're still dealing with, and we have, without going too deep into it, we've got the political kind of atmosphere that's, kind of happening and getting ready for a switch and a change soon, as far as a changing of the guard, so to speak, with that. So I think that some of us have maybe had high hopes that there was something magical that was going to unfold the first couple of days of the year. And, not that we're giving up hope per se, but maybe those old doubts, those old anxieties, those old fears are starting to creep in again, as a result of witnessing, seeing, experiencing the energies, the circumstantial energies and situational energies around you. So, what I would say, first of all, before turning over that next card, is don't allow those ego, shadow, doubts, fears, and anxieties to take hold. That's really what the lesson of this, that kind of energy is all about. So let's go ahead and take a look at that card that came out with it. Let's see what else that card has to say. Okay, so we have the Five of Mental. The Five of Mental, and it says conflict and defeat. So again, this is the suit of the mind, the suit of how we're thinking, perceiving, believing. And again, this feels kind of like, we're confused, we're frustrated, we're not knowing what direction to go next, or what steps to take, or what changes to make. And it's interesting because 2021, not to go too deep into the January intuitive reading, the monthly reading, but the 2021 adds up to a 5. And here we have a 5. We have the Five of Mental. The Five of Swords is what this is in the traditional tarot. And that number 5 is about change. It's about change and redirection and freedom. However, on the other side of the coin, the 5 can be about confusion, illusion, doubt, and just a lot of things happening that overwhelms us. And so here we might be feeling mentally overwhelmed. We might be tired, and I feel like, a lot of us are tired from the whole experience of 2020. So we're still coming off of that a little bit. We're also coming off of, not too long ago, a full moon that we had, the last full moon of 2020. So I think there's a lot of, still energies that we're still carrying within ourselves, and feeling slightly overwhelmed by everything that we have experienced and that we are still currently experiencing. There's still a lot of unknown and a lot of confusion here. So let's go ahead and go to the next set of cards here and see what else there is to say. Oh, wow, patience. So here's Major Arcana number 14, which interestingly enough is a karmic number in numerology, and if you add the 1 and the 4, also equals a 5. So we have this theme here of 5s going on, and even the temptation card here is a 15 and has a 5 in it. So we have some 5 energy going on here, and this is temperance in the traditional tarot. Temperance, patience, balance is what we need to have. So I feel like, as we're moving into 2021 and expecting all these wonderful changes and redirection and a feeling of freedom, the universe is saying we have to have a little bit of patience. We have to let things unfold a little bit more naturally and in divine timing. We have to stay balanced as that's happening. As again, this is the Temperance card in the traditional tarot. So we need to maintain balance in our lives, maintain balance physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually as we're allowing things to kind of unfold. I don't know what this is this person has in their hand, but it looks like, to me, it reminds me of like they have a seed that they're getting ready to plant, but maybe they haven't planted it quite yet. Now, we often plant new seeds at the beginning of the year. A lot of you have new intentions for the new year. You have these seeds that you want to plant, and if you can see whatever this person is holding that I feel like is a seed, this magical energy is coming off of it. So know that whatever new ideas, whatever new intentions you have for the year 2021, I feel like it's going to produce some magical results here. The key is that you have to have patience, because it may not happen all at once. The seed, of course, whenever you plant a seed in the earth, it needs to germinate. You need to water it. You need to care for it. You need to make sure it gets sunlight. It doesn't sprout right away, right? So the intention or the seed that you're planting needs some time to germinate and grow. And this is why, the time of spring here in the northern hemisphere, right? Springtime, April, May, that's when seeds begin to sprout. That's when things start to bloom again. So I'm going to say whatever seeds or intentions you're planting, whatever new ideas you have, whatever goals you're going to be working towards in this new year of 2021, have patience. Take the steps needed, plant those magical seeds or ideas, but give it until at least April and May for the beginning of something to sprout, okay? That's the message I get. And let's take a look at what came out with the Patience card here. The 5 of Physical, and wow, we have another 5 here. So that 5 energy is really important. Now, the 5 of Mental, or the 5 of Swords, which we already looked at, the 5 of Physical, which is like the 5 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, these are not the easiest of cards. They kind of speak of some challenge. The Five of Physical here, it says financial and material changes. And it can often be seen as, again, some confusion energy, or too much going on, or not sure what direction to take, or having too many possibilities and not knowing which decision to make kind of energy. And again, I feel like there's a need for patience here. And I'm just kind of focusing in on that 5 energy because we have so many 5s here, and it's like that freedom energy. You know, we all want to feel free. We want to feel free of illusion. We want to feel free of constriction and limitation. We want freedom, spiritually and physically and materially. And I feel like it's us needing to make some changes. The changes, first of all, with the 5 of Swords here, we need to make changes in our own thoughts and perceptions, the way we're thinking, the way we're believing. And then we need to make some changes here in our physical reality, which might mean pursuing, like if you're not happy in your job or career, pursuing something new and actually taking the steps that you're guided to take with that. Maybe you're needing to, write out a list of objectives and take things step by step. Whatever this is about, it's about doing practical physical steps towards making these changes on a physical level that you desire to make. I'm trying to get an idea of what this hand is all about here and what that can represent. So it's interesting because I don't know, I'm not a palmist, and I don't know the palmistry and what the different fingers represent. And I'm sure some of you out there do, as far as, what each finger, is it fire, is it earth, what is it all about? But there's these lines and these colors that are representing these different fingers. And I feel like this is like the mental, this is the spiritual, this is the physical, and this is the emotional. So whatever these fingers are representing, it's something about balancing all of our energetic bodies, the emotional body, physical body, spiritual body, mental body, is all represented here. And we have to kind of bring them all into balance. Again, this idea of the Temperance card, right, which is all about balance in the traditional tarot, kind of comes up again in the balancing of the elements, so to speak. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this last card here. Wow. I have to laugh because it's the 5th major arcana. This is very interesting. So the 5th major arcana in this deck is called Wisdom. In the traditional tarot, it's called the Hierophant. And the Hierophant traditionally is a spiritual authority figure that we go to for answers, for guidance. I like it in this deck, and there's a couple of other decks I have that has the symbology of looking more within yourself as you being your own spiritual authority. Now, this one does have, a gentleman. He's holding a book of knowledge. There's, golden light around him, and he does look like a spiritual authority figure. But I always like to say it's what's inside of us, our own inner guidance, our own inner intuition, our own inner wisdom, to me, is what's more important. And this is where we're going as a collective. We're all raising our vibrations from 3rd dimensional to 5th dimensional and higher. And this means that we have to understand that we are, part of the universe. We all are this sacred, beautiful soul, this sacred, beautiful being that has the connections, the gifts, the talents, the psychic abilities, the experience from previous times past, and the wisdom within ourselves to find the answers that we seek. So whether it is that you are, going to a counselor or a therapist or a reader or a healer, seeking some sort of guidance or assistance, which is fine, it's okay. But also remember that you have to seek that wisdom and that knowledge within yourself as well, that you have the answers within yourself. And to me, this book represents the Akashic Records. So getting in touch with your own Akashic Records and just in meditation asking to be connected to your own Akashic Records, your truth, from all the lifetimes you've ever lived, your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your karmic lessons, and how to best move through them. And in some way, shape, or form, you'll get messages regarding your own Akashic records, maybe through your dream time, maybe through your meditation time, maybe through a hypnotherapy session or shamanic journeying session, maybe just in an aha moment of having a flash of insight or knowingness. But I feel like you're definitely being led and guided here by the light, okay? Let's take a look at the special message card over here that's for everyone before we look at your individual message of choice. And this is number 32. 32, 3 plus 2 adds up to a 5. Very interesting. You should definitely research the 5 vibration, numerologically speaking. You'll find, again, change, redirection, freedom, and kind of mental energy, new ideas, new people, new opportunities. Definitely look into that energy. So number 32 here is here and now. Here and now. And it's interesting because we have a sign here that says past. We have a sign over here that says future. This person is kind of sitting on an egg in between the past and the future. And there's even a doorway on this egg-shaped, thing that she's sitting on. So I feel like, we're kind of, I don't know if I want to use the word crossroads, but we're in between. Again, we're moving out of the past, which is 2020, right? The 2020 is past now. We don't have to hold on to that experience anymore. We can definitely take what we learned from 2020, what wisdom did we gain from 2020, but we don't need to carry the heavy feelings or emotions or thoughts or perceptions. Now we're moving into the future. We're moving into 2021, which is this wonderful 5 vibration energy, and it's going to bring change and redirection. And there's going to be doorways of opportunity here to go through, is what I'm feeling here with that doorway. So look for any newness, a new person, new relationship, new opportunity, new business potential, new friendship, new networking, new job or career possibility. This is all about looking for the new and taking maybe a leap of faith towards following it if you feel so guided, okay? So I feel like this is a very great message for everyone here as we're moving into this brand new energy. Let's take a look at your special message depending on your pendant of choice. And again, this is a brand new deck. Look at how colorful those cards are. It's like this purple and this brilliant kind of yellowish golden color with kind of orange red. I just love the kind of back of these cards. So for the people that chose, it's the K2 here. The K2 stone is the first stone. Giving these a little shuffle here. I already blessed these two. I meditated on them, and I did a Reiki symbol over top of them, and I sent special loving intentions to all of them. So these are a blessed brand new deck of cards. So the K2, special message for K2. Special message for K2. This one's calling my attention. This is, the tree of life. Love it. Look at that beautiful, brilliant tree of life. So that seed from that patience card, right? That magical seed in the hand when we plant it, and if we have patience and we tend to it, and it might be for many months, and it might even be for more than 1 year, right? It takes a long time for a beautiful tree like this to grow and to bloom. So if we have patience, this beautiful tree, our beautiful goals, our beautiful dreams will kind of grow, and they'll be beautiful as long as we have patience and tend to them. We have this beautiful kind of light from the universe kind of coming down. We have this beautiful light from Mother Earth Gaia coming up. The tree has her roots deep into the earth, and this is where she gets fed and nurtured, but she also needs the light and the rain from up above too. So it's as above, so below. Is a little bit of a message there. That golden white light is very spiritual. It makes me think of, again, that as above, so below. As it is, in the higher universal realms of existence, so it is down here, or so it can be down here if we take our intentions and we have faith and trust in them. We plant those seeds and we have patience and we nurture them and we watch them grow into this beautiful, brilliant, luscious green tree of life. So have patience here. Plant your seeds, nurture them, and commune with them. You know, to me, I love communing with trees. I love hugging trees, talking to trees. Trees have a beautiful spiritual energy to them. So same with your ideas and your intentions. You have to commune with them. You have to feed them your loving thoughts, as well as, you know, taking appropriate actions towards whatever it is that you're trying to grow. All right, and then for those of you that chose the Golden Healer, special message for Golden Healer. This one, as I open my eyes, is just kind of jutting right out here. Ooh, baby. Okay, well, now maybe some of you are looking to get pregnant, or some of you are already pregnant, so this is definitely a positive indication that there's that new little life on the way. However, for a greater majority of you, this is probably symbolic that, again, you're giving birth to something new. You're giving birth to a new creative project. You're giving birth to a new creative idea. You're giving birth to maybe a new place to live, or maybe a new career, you know, whatever that is. This is the divine feminine energy that's nurturing this new idea, this new project, this new direction, okay? So look at your new idea, intention, project, or direction as this baby, right? Wouldn't you care for a baby if you were its mother? With diligence, with patience, with love, with attention. That's what you have to give to, you know, this new, whatever it is, this new project or whatever it is. So definitely use that divine feminine energy, the energy of compassion, unconditional love, healing, caring for, paying attention to, nurturing. I mean, this is such a beautiful divine feminine card here. I almost thought it was the number 5, but I actually think it's the number 3. Now I'm looking at all the numbers. But this is just a lovely, to me, this is a lovely message of giving birth to something, okay? And they're saying that it might not be anything tangible as far as third dimensional reality. This might actually be giving birth to a new you, to giving birth to a new way of seeing yourself or the world, giving birth to a new belief system or perception. So there's a lot of different areas where we can kind of give that birth energy. Okay, and then to those of you that chose the blue apatite, okay, blue apatite, special intention stone, special message, I should say, for blue apatite, divine truth, blue apatite. Okay, this one, well, nope, this one they're saying, this one here. Okay, and this one is communication. Okay, now this fits that Aquarian energy that we're into with Mercury and Aquarius. Pretty soon the sun, later this month, will go into Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. It's all about communication. And this is communication of a higher nature. This is also messages. To me, you know, there's the sky, there's the light peeking through the clouds. So, you know, some of the trees look like they're not in full bloom yet either. It's sort of like wintertime here in the northern hemisphere, right? We're in this time of kind of going within, or, you know, it's not quite the birth of spring yet or the birth of something new yet. We're kind of still reeling off of 2020's energies, and that's some of this dark clouds here. But we have the light and the sun shining through, starting to peek through. So I feel like the higher energies, the higher information, the higher guidance is coming through. Not that it ever isn't coming through, but it's definitely, as we're moving into this new year, we can have this higher communication with our higher selves, higher communication with our angels and guides, higher communication with universal energies. And communications and networking are going to be important, just like that Aquarius energy is all about networking, coming together with groups of like minds, collaborating with other people towards a similar goal. That's all Aquarian energy. So I feel like you need to get out there and write those emails, make those phone calls, you know, connect with those people. and don't hold back. There's nothing to fear. You are a beautiful, gifted, person, child of God, soul, if you will, and you're not lower than anybody. The Aquarian energy means we're all equal. We're all equal. And so networking even with those people that you might have been too timid to or too afraid to for some reason. These birds up here, this was the second part or the second thing that kind of came through. All these birds up here to me are messages. Birds are messengers. And so there's messages coming. There's communications and messages coming. And whether that be from other people, from our higher soul self, or from the universe and our angels and guides, there's definitely information and messages coming to us. So pay attention to what's coming through. Pay attention to what's happening here. I also feel like there's something about duality, because if you look at these two trees, they almost mirror one another. So it almost feels like, we're mirroring something, or we're living in this world of duality. We're projecting, back and forth. And when we communicate with other people, when we're in relationships with other people, we often will project our own wounds to other people, or they project theirs onto us. And it's only through grounded and higher communication that we're able to kind of move through those shadow projections. So if there's anything that needs to be cleared up with somebody, friend, family, loved one, get into your higher soul self and have that higher communication and mirror more of the love and divinity to one another rather than the shadow side. Okay, everybody, I hope you've all enjoyed this weekly intuitive reading. Thank you so much for your support through 2020. I love you all so much, and I couldn't have done what I do without your support, your love, your comments, your sharing of my videos and Facebook posts and everything else that you do to support me. I am so appreciative of all of you. Sending you all lots of love and light, and sending you many, many blessings as we're now fully into this year of 2021. Namaste, everyone.